We're not exactly talking about the weather, but we are talking about some of Earth's other processes. I want to bring in Dr. Jennifer Strauss. She's the product manager for the MyShake app associated with UC Berkeley's seismology lab. Thanks for joining us today, Dr. Strauss. And, it's interesting to hear about this app that may give people a couple of seconds a heads up to maybe learn about an earthquake before the shaking actually reaches them. So can you tell us a little bit about the MyShake app and what it does?
So the MyShake app is powered by the Shake Alert Earthquake Early Warning System and sponsored by the Governor's Office of Emergency Services. We work in partnership with these groups to provide earthquake information and early warning to people in harm's way of earthquakes that might cause damage.
How does that actually work? I mean, you just said it taps into the seismology network. Do you get, you have to have alerts enabled on your phone?
WEA alerts do go out to most devices for magnitude 5 and higher events. For smaller events like magnitude 4.5 and higher, you need an app for that. Our app receives alert information from the Shake Alert system, and we determine which phones are in the area of impact, and then we forward that message onto those phones so that people can drop cover and hold on to protect themselves.
This app actually helps research as well. Can you tell us a little bit about that process?
Sure, we have a dual purpose to our app. One is the alert side, but the other side is we're actually using the sensors in people's phones to monitor for earthquakes and measure them when they do happen. If the app detects that you are experiencing shaking from an earthquake, it saves the time series of that shaking information. And then when you're hooked up to Wi Fi and power later on, it sends that back to us so that we can analyze it just like we do with normal sensor data from our own networks.
This works currently for, I believe, Oregon, Washington, California, but you guys are looking for people outside of that area to help out, correct?
For the earthquake monitoring system, yes, that is a global citizen science effort for this app. So anyone anywhere in the world can participate with that. It's just the early warning alerts that are powered by Shake Alert that are currently limited to California, Oregon, and Washington.
Is this going to potentially give people more time to maybe get to a safe place if an earthquake is coming?
Right now, we don't expect it to give people more time just because the physics of how earthquakes happen. What we do want to look at is the fact that a lot of our high quality seismic sensors that we use for research right now are in places that people are not. And cell phones are in places where people are. So we think this data is going to give us a much better understanding of how people actually experience shaking as opposed to some seismometer on a concrete pier out in the middle of nowhere.
Thank you, Dr. Strauss. Always interesting to hear about that and how advancements are helping people stay more safe in the event of an earthquake. We really appreciate your time today. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.